God says, "Listen closely, my beloved soul, because this is not noise and this is not random." There are moments when heaven gently taps the heart, not with fear, not with pressure, but with a quiet certainty that says, "This is for you." If you felt something pull you into these words, that is not coincidence. It is alignment. It is timing. It is the soft opening of a new season that has been preparing itself long before you noticed it. Archangel Michael stands not as a voice of chaos, but as a guardian of clarity. His presence brings order where life felt scattered and strength where you felt tired. Today, his message is simple and deep: restoration is beginning. Not all at once like thunder, but steadily like dawn. The kind of restoration that rebuilds from the inside outward. The kind that returns peace before it returns answers. The kind that heals what words could never explain. There have been chapters in your life where you kept moving even when you were exhausted, where you stayed kind even when you were misunderstood, where you trusted even when results were slow. Heaven saw that. Not as weakness, but as quiet courage. And now the atmosphere around you is changing. You may not see dramatic signs yet, but something subtle is shifting. Your breath feels lighter, your thoughts calmer, your heart less guarded. These are not small things. They are signals that the ground beneath you is becoming safe again. Restoration does not always mean going back. Sometimes it means being made new in places that were worn thin. It means strength returning to decisions you doubted. It means relationships softening where they were once tense. It means opportunities aligning without force. This season is not asking you to chase or prove or struggle. It is inviting you to receive. To let go of the belief that everything must be earned through pain. To remember that blessings can arrive through peace. There is also a blessing of clarity coming to you. Confusion that lingered will begin to settle. Questions that kept circling will find gentle answers. Not rushed answers, but true ones. The kind that stay. You may notice your intuition becoming sharper, your discernment calmer, your choices more confident. That is restoration too, when the mind and heart begin to agree again. Archangel Michael's message carries protection, not as fear of what's outside, but as assurance of what's within. You are not fragile. You are supported. You are not late. You are right on time. What belongs to you will not miss you. What is meant for you will recognize you. And what is not aligned will quietly move out of the way without drama. Blessings in this season may look practical before they look miraculous. A door opens. A burden lifts. A conversation brings peace. A path becomes clear. Do not underestimate these moments. Heaven often starts with the ordinary so the extraordinary can last. The goal is not to impress you for a moment, but to sustain you for a lifetime. So take a breath here. Let your shoulders drop. Let your expectations soften. You do not need to rush this season. It is already moving toward you. Restoration is not something you must force, it is something you allow. And as you allow it, you will notice gratitude returning, not forced gratitude, but natural appreciation for the way life begins to fit again. God says, "Listen closely, my beloved soul, because restoration is not only about what you receive, it is also about what quietly returns to its rightful place within you." There are seasons when life takes more than it gives, when responsibility grows heavier than rest, when hope feels stretched thin. Those seasons shape you, but they are not meant to define you forever. What you are entering now is different. This is a season where balance begins to come back, where effort is met with ease, and where peace is no longer something you chase, but something that finds you. Archangel Michael speaks not with urgency, but with steadiness. His presence signals that what was scattered is being gathered, what was delayed is being aligned, and what felt broken is being handled with care. Restoration does not rush. It works layer by layer, gently strengthening the places that were worn down by waiting. You may feel moments of sudden calm for no clear reason. You may notice that certain worries no longer grip you the way they once did. These are not random changes. They are signs that your inner world is being rebuilt on firmer ground. There is also a restoration of trust unfolding. Not blind trust, but grounded trust. Trust in your own judgment. Trust in the timing of your life. Trust that not everything good needs to arrive through struggle. For a long time, you may have believed that ease meant risk, that rest meant laziness, that calm meant something was about to go wrong. This season gently corrects that belief. It teaches you that peace can be stable, that blessings can be consistent, and that safety can last. As this restoration deepens, relationships begin to shift as well. Some will grow stronger without effort. Conversations will feel lighter. Misunderstandings will lose their power. In certain cases, distance will naturally form, not from conflict, but from clarity. You will no longer need to explain yourself to everyone. You will no longer feel guilty for choosing what preserves your peace. That is not selfishness. That is healing. Blessings in this season are not loud. They are intentional. They arrive in ways that support your life instead of overwhelming it. You may notice improvements in your daily rhythm, better sleep, clearer thinking, renewed motivation. You may feel inspired to organize, to plan, to care for yourself in ways you postponed before. These are practical signs of restoration. When the inner world steadies, the outer world follows. There is also a restoration of purpose happening quietly. Not a dramatic calling, but a clear sense of direction. You will begin to recognize what deserves your energy and what no longer does. Goals that once felt confusing will simplify. Decisions that once felt heavy will feel manageable. This clarity is a gift. It allows you to move forward without constantly second-guessing yourself. God says this season is not about proving anything. It is about receiving without fear. You do not need to earn rest. You do not need to justify joy. You do not need to explain your healing. What is unfolding now is allowed because you endured what came before. You carried lessons, you learned patience, and now those lessons are becoming support rather than weight. As restoration continues, you may also notice gratitude returning in small, sincere ways. Not forced positivity, but genuine appreciation for simple things, quiet mornings, kind words, moments of ease. This gratitude is not the goal, it is the evidence. It shows that your nervous system is calming, your spirit is settling, and your heart is no longer bracing for impact. This is a season where you are guided to slow down just enough to notice what is working. Where you are encouraged to protect your peace without apology. Where blessings come with stability instead of stress. Trust this process. It does not need to be rushed, compared, or questioned. It is unfolding with precision. Stay present with this message. Let it ground you. Restoration is not behind you anymore. It is happening now, quietly, steadily, and in ways that will last. God says, listen even more deeply now, because this stage of restoration is not only about healing what was hurt, it is about strengthening what will carry you forward. What you are stepping into is a season where your inner foundation is being made steady enough to hold lasting blessings. Temporary joy is easy. Temporary relief comes and goes. But what is unfolding now is designed to remain. This is why the process feels slow at times. Stability takes time to build, and heaven is not rushing what must endure. Archangel Michael stands as a guardian of this phase, not as a warrior in battle, but as a protector of alignment. He represents discipline, clarity, and order returning to your life. You may notice that confusion begins to fade. Situations that once felt chaotic start arranging themselves naturally. You are no longer forcing outcomes. You are responding with wisdom. This is a clear sign that restoration has moved from emotion into structure. There is a deep correction happening in how you see yourself. For a long time, you may have measured your worth by how much you endured, how much you gave, or how much you sacrificed. That belief kept you strong, but it also kept you tired. Now, God is restoring your identity beyond survival. You are learning that you do not need to suffer to be valuable. You do not need to struggle to be chosen. You do not need to carry everything alone to be respected. This phase restores self-trust. You will begin to believe your own instincts again. When something feels off, you will no longer ignore it. When something feels right, you will move without hesitation. This trust is quiet but powerful. It protects you from repeating old cycles. It helps you choose differently without guilt. It allows you to say no without explanation and yes without fear. As this strength grows, your patience changes shape. You are no longer waiting helplessly. You are waiting confidently. You understand that what is meant for you does not need chasing, begging, or proving. This removes desperation from your decisions. You begin to act from stability instead of urgency. And when urgency leaves, peace takes its place. Relationships continue to realign in this part of the journey. You will notice that some people respond differently to you. Not because you changed your words, but because your energy changed. You are calmer. You are clearer. You are less reactive. This will naturally create distance from those who thrived on your uncertainty and bring closer those who value your steadiness. This is not loss. This is alignment. God is also restoring your capacity to receive. For a long time, giving felt safer than receiving. Control felt easier than trust. But now, receiving no longer feels like risk. It feels natural. Compliments no longer make you uncomfortable. Support no longer feels like weakness. Help no longer feels like debt. This shift is crucial, because blessings flow where they are welcomed. You may notice improvements in practical areas of life during this phase. Work becomes more manageable. Opportunities feel clearer. Finances stabilize through wiser choices rather than sudden change. Health improves through consistency rather than extremes. These are not coincidences. They are the outer reflection of inner order being restored. There is also a restoration of hope without pressure. You are no longer forcing yourself to be optimistic. You simply feel lighter. You expect things to work out, not because you are pretending, but because your experiences are beginning to confirm it. Small wins accumulate. Calm days outnumber stressful ones. Progress feels steady instead of exhausting. God says this part of the journey is about quiet confidence. Not announcing, not proving, not defending. Just moving forward with certainty. You are learning that you do not need everyone to understand your path. You only need to stay aligned with it. Remain present. Remain grounded. This strengthening is preparing you for the fullness of what is next. What is being built now will support blessings that last, peace that stays, and clarity that does not fade. Restoration is no longer just happening to you. It is becoming part of who you are. God says, this is the moment where restoration turns into elevation, and it happens so quietly that many people miss it. You are not stepping into noise. You are stepping into depth. What is beginning now is not just about fixing what was broken, it is about establishing you in a higher place emotionally, spiritually, and mentally, so that what comes next does not collapse under pressure. This stage is sacred because it completes the inner work that allows outer blessings to stay. Archangel Michael stands as a witness to this completion. Not rushing you, not pushing you, but affirming that what has been rebuilt inside you is now strong enough to carry what heaven wants to release. You are no longer being prepared. You are being positioned. There is a difference. Preparation shapes you. Positioning places you. You may feel calmer than usual, even when life is still moving. This is not numbness. This is rooted peace. Your nervous system is learning that safety does not always come from control. Sometimes it comes from trust. This peace is proof that restoration has reached your core. You are no longer reacting to life the way you used to. You respond with discernment. You pause. You choose. This alone will change the direction of your future. God is restoring your sense of timing. You will stop forcing conversations, outcomes, and decisions. You will sense when to speak and when to remain silent. You will know when to move and when to wait. This awareness protects you from regret. It saves your energy. It keeps you aligned. Many blessings are lost not because they were denied, but because they were rushed. That cycle ends here. This final stage restores confidence without pride. You no longer shrink, and you no longer overcompensate. You stand firmly in who you are. You do not explain yourself unnecessarily. You do not chase validation. You trust your growth even when it is not visible to others. This kind of confidence attracts respect naturally. It does not demand attention. It earns it. Your perspective on challenges changes now. Problems no longer feel like threats. They feel like tasks. You address them calmly, one step at a time. This is how stability is built. This is how lasting success forms. Emotional maturity is one of the greatest blessings God can restore, because it protects every other blessing you receive. Relationships reach a point of truth in this stage. You will feel drawn to authenticity and repelled by manipulation without effort. You will stop trying to be understood by those who are committed to misunderstanding you. Instead, you will invest in connections that feel mutual, grounded, and safe. This is not isolation. This is refinement. God is also restoring your vision. You begin to see yourself in the future again. Not fantasy, not pressure, but realistic hope. You make plans that feel achievable. You imagine outcomes without fear. This is important, because what you can see clearly, you can walk toward steadily. Fear once blurred your vision. Peace sharpens it. You are also learning the difference between silence and emptiness. Silence now feels full. It feels restful. It feels like space rather than loss. This is where creativity returns. This is where clarity deepens. This is where guidance becomes easier to recognize. God often speaks most clearly in peace, not chaos. This stage completes the cycle of restoration by teaching you how to protect what you have gained. You will no longer overextend yourself. You will honor your limits. You will respect your energy. You will choose consistency over intensity. This ensures that blessings do not become burdens and opportunities do not become exhaustion. God says this is the season where you stop surviving and start sustaining. You are not just healed. You are stable. You are not just hopeful. You are prepared. You are not just blessed. You are aligned. And now, before this message ends, take a moment to pause. If this message resonated with you, if you felt clarity, peace, or understanding while listening, let your presence be known. Like this video to acknowledge this moment. Share it with someone who may need encouragement and calm. Comment one word that describes how you feel right now. And subscribe so you stay connected to messages that bring grounding, clarity, and spiritual strength. Your attention here was not random. Your calm is not accidental. Your restoration is real, and what begins now is meant to last.